A 2-year-old boy comes in due to reoccurring nosebleeds. His father also mentions that he has had many ear infections as well. Exam shows non-blanchable discrete red macules on his extremities, and labs show low platelet count. What is the mode of inheritance of this disorder? A. Autosomal recessive. B. Autosomal dominant. C. Mitochondrial inheritance. D. X-linked recessive. So I'll let you answer the question, and then I'll explain in 5 seconds. Okay, so the answer is going to be D, X-linked recessive. So for this problem, it's going to be Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome. So essentially for this one, there's a triad that you have to memorize, and this problem shows all three. So it's going to be eczema, and it's going to be tendency to bleed due to thrombocytopenia, and finally you're going to have recurrent infections due to defects in the immune system. So just going over that, so you're going to have less platelets, and that's how they talk about the low platelets in the question. But not only are there less platelets, but there are ones that are smaller and dysfunctional, whichever ones are left over. And then the immune system is also impacted in this disease, and that's why it causes a lot of respiratory infections, and specifically the B and T cells are impacted. So it's going to affect cellular immunity. It's also going to cause cellular for the T cells, and then humoral for the B cells. And then you're going to have mutations in the WASP gene, and so this gene is located on the X chromosome. So just talking about the other answer choices and examples of those. So we had autosomal dominant, so that's going to be von Willebrand's disease, which is another bleeding disorder. Ataxia telangiectasia, which is going to be autosomal recessive, and you have some neurological problems, and just like the name implies, you're going to have ataxia, so trouble with gait, and then telangiectasia, so you're going to have these spider web-like lesions on the skin. And then finally, for the mitochondrial disorders and mitochondrial inheritance, you're going to have MELAS, so that stands for mitochondrial encephalopathy, lactic acidosis, and stroke-like episodes. But this one, the Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome, is going to have these three things, and it's going to be inherited in an X-linked recessive pattern. So it really is just memorizing that triad and then knowing the inheritance pattern. So this shows you the description of petechiae, so it's indicating the bleeding disorder as well as the nosebleeds. And a lot of times on step 1, they'll do this where they won't tell you it's petechiae. They'll, for example, describe it as the non-blanchable discrete red macules. And then this obviously indicates that thrombocytopenia and the recurrent infections also clue you in. And so if they added eczema, that would also show you as well that this would also be leading to Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome. So I hope that helped, and thanks for watching.